right, let's get this video kicked off right. I'm gonna burn some Palo Santo and we're gonna get this thing started. Um, First of all, I want to say thank you for tuning into my videos, and I want to thank those that are subscribed to me, those that are soon to be new subscribers. Um, Wherever you may be in the world, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And if it's night, I hope you're having a great night where you are. I just wanted to get this going and then we'll get things started here. So I'm going to burn some Palo Santo so I can clear the air, none of the high vibrations. It's going to be a good one today. It's going to be a really good one today. A really, really good one. So hold on to your hats. Hold on to your hats. Hold on to your hats. So if you haven't done so, click the subscribe button, like, subscribe, share. Each one teach one. I know it's been a long time since I've done this, but because my views haven't been pretty high. Well, they've been high, but they're just nobody's subscribing. So um, all information is good information. If you have any earbuds, earpods, if you're on a PC, whatever you may be on, I'm going to ring this singing bowl right here. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. I really hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And for those that are watching my videos of the geese and the ducks, thank you for watching those videos. It's greatly appreciated. And it's greatly appreciated that you are concerned about them and their health and their wealth and them eating properly. And I have figured out a solution for it. So we're going to see what happened coming this week. I will be doing a video on it so people can see that it is changed up a little bit. So there's a lot of wickedness in the world. And I have nothing against mystic arts. I have nothing against people that are card readers, people that are mediums. Um, I have nothing against these people. Some of the really nicest people I've ever met, and it's gave me direction, have been mediums, um, psychic mediums, and but what I am gonna say, many of you are trying to find out your purpose, and the one thing that we cannot do is attend to go to someone that could quite possibly be envious, or they have this thing called swapping destinies. And see, where a lot of these people fail to realize and understand that the Holy Spirit knows its people. You can't take a destiny that is not yours, and especially when it has to do with the Holy Spirit. It has to do with your calling and what you are here to do. I say to you to be careful of the people that you intend to choose to tell you or proceed to tell you what is your destiny. And I know many of you out there do not know how or the first way to go about searching out your destiny and why you were sent here. There are many people that do not know how to go through this thing to search on how to find out their destiny. And it's very, very simple to be able to do this. It's not hard to find out what your destiny is and why you were sent here. And you just have to be careful on who you trust to give you this information. If it was me, which it has been, and thanks to heavens that it was not a medium that told me why I was sent here, what's my purpose, who am I, who, what, why, when, and where. The who is the deal. It's not, it's the who. It's the Holy Spirit that you need to question and ask your purpose. No one on this earth can tell you who you are and your purpose. Only the Holy Spirit. In one of my dreams, in the Bible, it speaks about a valley. But this valley in my dream was a 3-tier valley. And I'm on the top tier, which is the first top tier. And then on the second tier, there is clear water. It's almost like it's like a sea of glass, but it's water, but it's clear. And there are 4 serpents inside this water. They seem to look like red-tailed boas, but nevertheless, they're reptiles in clear water. Then there is the 3rd tier where there is choppy water, but the water is constantly moving and it is cloudy like white clouds. It is not murky, it is white clouds. So as we make our way down to the 3rd tier, we eventually start walking downward inside of the water that was rushing like high flowing cloud water. We literally walked through that as if we were walking down some stairs in a cellar. When we got to there where we were, there was someone who said, "So you're trying to find out who you are?" And as we walked down, it just seems like we just walked into a cellar, like we walked into another dimension, into another time. But before I received the information about who I am, I woken up. A medium, they can give you guidance, but they can't tell you what you're sent here for. They can give you the guidance, but they can't really basically tell you what your purpose on this planet is. The only being that can tell you your purpose on this planet is the Holy Spirit. I'm going to give you some steps and some guides. And I'm no medium. Like I said, I'm not Christian. I'm not Muslim. I'm not any of these things. I'm just a being that the Holy Spirit communicates through. The Holy Spirit don't always use people in the churches, Because this is where the devil hangs out. This is where the energy, the spirit hangs out. So the Holy Spirit used those that are on the outside, but they also use those that are in the inside, but it doesn't necessarily use those that are in the church. Not often. But to get to what I'm trying to say is that the Holy Spirit is the only being that can tell you who you are, why you're here. And I'm going to tell you that just here in a minute on how to find out who you are, why you were sent here, and your purpose on this earth. It's just really simple stuff. You don't necessarily have to go to anyone to ask for it. But the one thing you do have to do, you have to be connected with the Holy Spirit. If you're not connected with the Holy Spirit, it's going to be very, very hard. And the main thing to really know the truth and find out why you were sent here. And a lot of people don't like to hear this word, but you have to surrender. You have to surrender all your will. And I've said this before on a couple of my videos. I do remember that. And a lot of people, at this time, I was not getting very many people watching my videos. And I use this word quite a bit, surrender, because this is what was told to me, that I had to surrender in order to find out who I am. And when I did do that, I did find out exactly who I am. I am called the Messiah. I am the Messiah. But it took a very, very, very long time to find out who I am. But see, now that things are ramping up, now that there's so many coronal mass ejections, now that we are stepping into a different timeline and time is advancing, it's increasing, things are on a fast trajectory to another timeline. So you don't have but a short time. And like I said before, there's a ship that is docked here. To find out your purpose and why you were sent here. It's very simple. You have to surrender. That is one of the key things. What do you have to lose? I say that quite a bit in some of my videos too. What do you have to lose? If you're tired of struggling, you're tired of going through all these different things, you're tired of not knowing who you are, why you were sent here, it's simple. You just have to surrender. And you have to be sincere. It has to come from within here. If it doesn't come from within here, the Holy Spirit is not going to give you what you ask for. And especially when it knows that you're not sincere. Because we're all sent here for a purpose. And this purpose, no one else can tell you. The only being that can tell you your purpose on this planet is the Holy Spirit. Now, this is my steps. These are the steps that I take in. Number one was to surrender to the Holy Spirit. because at this point, I lost everything. And it's not the first time I lost everything, but I just said I can't do it anymore. So that's the first step of surrendering. The second step is quieting the mind and meditating. Your third step is to listen. And when I say listen, I mean listen to your thoughts. I mean listen to what's around you. Get a feel for the unseen. Notice everything around you. Subtle vibrations, subtle wind. Just you would notice a lot of things when you sit in a room. It doesn't necessarily have to be dark, but a little bit of light coming in. But this is when you need to be still. Because the Holy Spirit can only speak to you when you're still. There's too much going on around you. The Holy Spirit can't speak and you can't hear the Holy Spirit. You can't hear that knock at the door. You cannot hear that knock at the door. And energy of Satan don't want you to hear that knock. It wants to keep you busy. It wants to keep everything around you constantly moving. So you're being distracted. And so distraction is another thing how the energy of Satan gets you off track. The fourth thing is everything that is worldly. You have to push that to the side. Because these things are of the devil. They are of the energy of Satan. The fifth thing is your choice of food. And I've said this a couple of times in my videos that, and people, they don't want to adhere to what I'm saying. But in order to reach the highest peak of vibrational frequency and sound body and mind and your spirit, you have to let go of the animal products. You have to let go of all these different things that are not natural for the body. The water that you drink, the food that you eat, the company that you keep. These are all things that will cut your connection with the Holy Spirit. To truly, truly, truly find out who you are, these are the steps that you must take. And these are the first beginning steps. Once the Holy Spirit starts to see that you are serious about wanting to know who you are and why you were sent here, then it becomes to the point to where you hear in the spirit world. You begin to hear people speak. You begin to hear the Holy Spirit speaks to you. You begin to hear a lot of different things. happening around you. You begin to hear the spirit world. You begin to feel your ancestors. You begin to feel the subtle movements. You begin to feel the vibration within your body. You begin to notice a lot of things. You begin to speak, and it shall happen. These are the things that you need to do to become connected with the Holy Spirit. Without these things, you cannot become connected to the Holy Spirit. Without this, you cannot. You have to quieten the mind. You have to quieten the chatter. You have to go in hermit mode, as some carvers would say. You have to go in seclusion. You have to go into your own space, even if it is to go sit in a closet and leave the door cracked open so some light can come in. But you have to attune yourself to the Holy Spirit. You have to attune yourself to the energy around you. Because if you cannot attune yourself to the energy around you, guess what? You will not be able to get connected with the Holy Spirit. Because there are people that are around you that you cannot see, that you cannot feel. And these are your ancestors, your guides. And if you cannot tune these things out that are around you, this worldly stuff, these worldly actions, this way of dressing, this way of living, this way of eating, if you cannot tune these things out, you cannot reach to the highest pinnacle, which is the Holy Spirit. You will not get past this ozone layer around this earth. You will continue to steady stay here. And every time you shout out, help me, help me, help me, it's not piercing through the ozone layer. It is not piercing through the chains, the vines that are wrapped around the ozone layer to keep your prayers, or shall I say, your khalils from getting out to the Holy Spirit. So if you cannot do these things, you will not ever find out your purpose. And guess what this means? A repeat, because you have not learned what you're supposed to learn. Number 6 is writing down everything that you hear from the spirit world. Writing everything down that comes to your subconscious. These are steps I'm telling you to take so you can find out what your purpose is. Also, writing down all synchronicities. If they're numbers, write them down. If they're events, write them down. These things are important. These are things that are very, very important for you to find out who you are. Doesn't matter the event if it synchronizes what you are going through. If it synchronizes, write it down. Your dreams, write them down. Remember them to the best of your abilities. Okay? Your dreams are very, 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 very important, because this is one way that the Holy Spirit will speak to you. If it cannot speak to you through audio, through clear audio, it will definitely speak to you through your dreams. If it cannot speak to you through clear audio, it will speak to you through what's around you, which will be synchronicities. These things, you have to write them down. Everything that happens, everything that goes on around you, you need to write this stuff down. Your dreams is a telltale sign of who you are. No one can tell you but the Holy Spirit, but you have to take the steps that I'm telling you in order to find out who you are, why you were sent here. Don't listen to anyone else outside of yourself. Don't listen to anyone else, because the Holy Spirit is within you. The Holy Spirit is within you. You just have to take the time and do how I'm telling you to do in order to be connected with the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit will know if you're sincere. But if you're not sincere, the Holy Spirit will not come knocking and it will not come in. So this is the only way you can find out your purpose. This is how I found out my purpose. These experiences that I went through, these times of my flame being extinguished and re-extinguishing. So what I mean is the phoenix, it dies and it comes back. It dies and it comes back. This is what I mean. This is the flame that goes out and it comes back on. This is the phoenix rising. Okay? These are the the steps that you have to take to find out exactly who you are. Do not rely. And I don't have anything against card readers, mediums, any of these things. Like I said, I got some of my best information that I needed. And even I received a trigger. I received a trigger from a woman saying to me, I just hope that you're on our side. Anytime someone tells you something like that, you are a very, very, very powerful being. You got someone saying these words to you, I just hope you're on our side. You're a very powerful being. So powerful that you become a threat to those around you. You become an immediate threat. You have people that want to take. You have people that supposedly want to take your destiny. Which this is something that cannot be done because the Holy Spirit knows its people. It knows its people. So no one can take anything from you. The Holy Spirit cannot be fooled. So what I'm saying to you is that the Holy Spirit knows your heart. And that's the one thing the Holy Spirit looks at. Another thing that you must do, this is very, very crucial, very important, and that is your shadow work and also learn how to forgive. Forgiving is a part of your shadow work. This is a crucial part in learning and wanting to know who you are. Because nobody else can tell you. They can give you guidance. They can give you direction. But they can't specifically tell you who you are. And I thank the Holy Spirit that there was no one that was a medium or a card reader to tell me who I am. I know that I am the Lion of Judah. I know that I am the Messiah. I know that I am the one to open the books. And I've said it many times before. The books are open. Of this year of 2025, the book of seals has been opened. The 12 tribes of Israel has been sealed. 2021 of February the 10th is when those 12 tribes were sealed. There was a shake right here in Texas just before that big freeze hit the entire United States, or shall I say United Snakes. That was me. The earth shook because of me. The freeze happened because of me. Because once those 12 tribes are sealed, all bets was off. And I'm going to tell you, It says, touch not until the 12 tribes are sealed, touch nothing. Once the 12 tribes are sealed, all bets are off. So therefore, the 12 tribes have been sealed. This was a freeze that the United States has never seen before. And as soon as I sealed those 12 tribes, the very next day, a great freeze happened and no one seen it coming. That was because of me, because of the sealing of the 12 tribes. And these were people that were in bondage, so to speak. Like I said, the Holy Spirit doesn't use people in the church. Like I said, I'm just a being. I'm not. I'm not Muslim. I'm not Catholic. I'm not Christian. I'm not Jehovah's Witness. I'm not any of that. I'm just a being walking this earth. Just like Melchizedek. Just like Yeshua. Just like Moses. Isaac, Jacob. I'm just a being walking this earth. To know who you are, write everything down. Your dreams, your visions, your thoughts. And I don't mean the thoughts, I mean what comes to you. If you are clear audio, any of the clairs, synchronicities. It can be events or it can be numbers. Because all of this is the Holy Spirit speaking to you. But if you do not take the time to exit out everything that is of the world, if you do not take the time to sit and find a small space to really connect with the unseen, because this is where it starts. The connection starts in the unseen. But the very, very beginning of this is surrendering to the Holy Spirit. What do you got to lose? If other things are not working for you and you cannot see why you were sent here, what do you got to lose? If you keep seeing the same cycle over and over again, over and over and over and over again, what do you have to lose? Nothing. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. So what do you do? What do you do? These are the steps that I took. The very first step was surrendering. The second step, like I said, is learning how to forgive and let go and let live. If you cannot do these things, the Holy Spirit help you, because you won't know who you are. You won't know your purpose. And I found my purpose. And I know who I am. And I know I'm the Messiah. And I know that I'm the one that's being spoken about in these books. So I've given you the steps on how to find out who you are. And this is all I can do. You have but a short time until I'm no more here, until I take my people back. You have but a short time. My suggestion is you get to work. You get to doing your shadow work. Because this is very crucial. This is very important to know who you are. If you are one of the 144, you really want to know your purpose, what do you got to lose? This is the Messiah. I would say like, subscribe, share. Each one teach one. I haven't sat down in a while either. I've gotten out of the habit of asking people to share my information. Or maybe this little bit of information will help. Maybe it will encourage you to send it to someone else that is lost. And this is not a time of come to the Holy Spirit. This is a time of getting yourself ready before that ship leaves. Because that's all I'm trying to do, is prepare you for departure. This is not a come to the Holy Spirit. This is a come to know who you are and why you were sent here. The come to the Holy Spirit is over. But to find out who you are, you have to go to the Holy Spirit. Find out your purpose. But be very weary about outside interference, outside distractions, worldly things. Be very weary. When you know you're doing right, just know this: all distractions that come around, you know you're doing something right. And especially when you're trying to connect with the Holy Spirit. When there's so many distractions coming around, someone comes up to you as you doing Khalils, or you're in your own world and you're trying to figure things out, and there's always a distraction trying to pull you from what you're trying to find out. You know you're doing something right. So let go, let live, and be free. This is the only way you can free yourself, is through the Holy Spirit. Other than that, you can't free yourself. That energy called Satan has his claws on you. So what you got to lose? If you're tired, follow these instructions that I've given. You'll get your answer. Seek and ye shall find. Messiah. Hmm. Every time I want to say I'm out, there's something else that comes up. Thank you all for listening. Old subscribers, new subscribers, thank you. Those that are abroad, wherever you may be, thank you. I do read comments and I do respond back to comments. If you're watching my video, the least thing you can do, the decent thing you can do, the upright, righteous thing that you can do is push the like button. If this video moves you in a way that shakes your spirit, push the like button. Share this video, because there are many people that are lost, that don't know how to find out who they are and why they were sent here. If this video shakes you to your core, send it out. The Messiah